We are at the most critical part of the crypto cycle. I have the do's, I have the don'ts, especially for the beginning and the end of the month of September. Need a trading strategy? Got one. Need an investment strategy? Got one, even though this is an opinion show and not investment advice. This is the Morning Market Update. I am your host, Bill Noble. I am okay. I know I haven't been seen on YouTube for 3 days, and I know that there have been reports that, but I am fine. I am fine. We took a vacation. It's all good. I'm back. Now, what should you not do the next 7 days? Don't buy the market when it's up, and don't puke it when it's down, unless you're selling to pay the rent. You get what I'm saying. Don't chase the market. And you're like, why? Explain it to me. I'd be happy to. We are in eclipse season. There are 2 eclipses this month. Normally, when there are 2 eclipses in 1 month, sometimes you can get extreme volatility. Meaning the market might dump 7% and come back, or it might go up 7% and come back down. And who knows what they got in store for us, because we have the payroll number or the unemployment number, or what I suggest will go back to its 90s name of the unenjoyment number on Friday, as they begin to tell the truth for whatever reason about what's jokingly referred to as the job market. This has the potential to create a lot of volatility in crypto. Do not let your emotions get the best of you. Yeah. I know everybody says that on YouTube, have a plan, don't get emotional. I am sure you've never heard it before. In eclipse season, don't get emotional. Walk away. I walked away. 3 days. I'm like, you know what? I don't think I think I published what I need to publish here. I'm not going to over-publish, and I stepped back. That's research version of trading. Do not sell. You sell weakness, right? What do you do? Selling Bitcoin at 107? Bitcoin's at 107 and 108. Everyone's like, it's going to 103. Bitcoin prints 110. Everyone says it's going to 116, or we're off to the races, or it's the Q4 rally. There's going to be a Q4 rally after everyone gets chopped up. Now, premium groups, Patreon, whatever, they have the strategy as to how we want to come out during the end of the month and how we want to accumulate. But if you're accumulating, the great news is you may get these flushes. You may get these flushes because it feels like that's what they're trying to do. And it feels like people are trying to jump on rallies, and it's absolutely not working. Now, let's talk about the crypto plan. The lunar eclipse is September 7th. I think if there was a time to expect downside volatility, that would be it. If you do not experience downside volatility during that time period, I would consider that a very good sign. I would consider that a sign that if there was a dip like 5 or 6 days later, you could jump on that dip. You may have a lot of people jumping on that dip, but you do have to be careful, around eclipses, not necessarily the day, but around it. And if there's no debacle this week, I would consider that a very good sign. And you know what? First, Ethereum underperformed Bitcoin. Then Ethereum caught up. Then Solana underperformed Ethereum. Then Solana sort of caught up. Solana sort of caught up. Now, what's next? What about XRP versus Ethereum? Is XRP due to catch up? XRP is like 10 to 15 cents below our buy zone. I'm like, wow, really? I'm looking at a headline here that says, is GCUL an XRP ender? Critics question, ready? Let's just say it's Web 2 with a colorful logo. A certain Web 2 company has a centralized blockchain. I'm like, a Silicon Valley blockchain is going to take out XRP. Okay, yeah, XRP is centralized because there's a giant crypto company behind it. Now, of course, everything's better decentralized. But are we going to buy Skynet coin, spy on you coin, not like you coin? Because those coins this stuff's going to be out there. It's a free market, people. They're going to do what they want. You know what? XRP is no longer the disastrous centralized thing that everyone thinks it is. It isn't. It absolutely is not. So what else is going to catch up to ETH? And if Solana goes, what's going to catch up to Solana? Now, a gentleman from a far off land in the last stream asked a very important question. He was like, well, how do I get exposure to AI, robots, and things like that? Well, I'll give this one away. Somebody in my Patreon group came up with simple AI. Okay, it's leveraged towards robots. I have not researched yet, and it's not investment advice, but these things are out there. They are. The robot trade, the mining and AI trade, that's HUT, H-U-T, I believe, the Bitcoin miner in the United States. And if you don't know what to do, there are AI coins like Tau, right, and Render, and the big ones, FET, artificial superintelligence tokens. Now, you can also check out, like I said, some of the Patreon and YouTube stuff. One of the things that is happening, it is happening. JP Morgan came into NumerAI. I didn't know this, but that was a Tudor Jones hedge fund. NumerAI, N-U-M, I believe. And then it was the number one Gann Pick, Pyth, which Uncle Sugar came into for data management. What's the point? This is a very critical thing. All it takes to get a coin with a $30 or $10 million market cap going is one announcement. One, to start a trend, right? In other words, something like Pyth will go up and then it'll correct when the market is soft or we have eclipse gymnastics. But that announcement is in place. All you need is a string of announcements across, say, a couple of sectors like DPIN or DSI or any of these sectors. I was on Lunar Crush, zero affiliation, trying to figure out, and we're covering some of this stuff in the YouTube member podcast after this. Like one of the coins we're looking at Avail, right? It's like horizontally scalable layer for rollups, trust minimized. In other words, privacy, just like my friends from AIntivirus, just like them, right? Privacy, layer ones, okay? Anything related to AI and hardware, anything, right? If you can type in a Perplexity query or a chatbot query and get something and just look at it, that is an investment strategy, which during eclipse season is what you need, right? You need to be looking less at your screen and more at whatever research you can come up with. That is a good eclipse plan, because I will tell you right now, people, it's already started. There was a Saturn thing over the weekend. Boom, market goes down. Every headline is, cycle top in, it's over. Then the market turns around and goes up. Everyone's like, oh, thank God. This is the most important relief bounce in the history of relief bounces. That's also not correct. This is just simply and plainly gymnastics. Now, you have consistent froth in equities. You have commodity trading advisors who are as long as they've ever been. So if stonks turned around and went down in September for whatever reason, okay, if they did, certain mechanized hedge funds would have to sell $70 billion just based on how they work. Now you're like, well, Bill, that's exactly what I wanted to hear when I had my morning coffee. And I'm like, okay, wait a minute. If mechanized hedge funds puke, crypto will come back faster because it's just mechanized selling. If there is no mechanized selling, and there may not be, because guess what? Jim Cramer came out today and said, watch out for Rectember. Watch out for September. When everyone's looking for the same thing, something else happens. Let me say that again. A guy named Bob Farrell said, when everyone expects the same thing, something else happens. Now, everyone is looking for a Q4 rally in crypto, and they're going to get it. But they're going to pay the piper during the month of September because you're going to have probably some chop. And you know what? If you don't, then you know you've got yourself the biggest rally anyone has ever seen. Meanwhile, back at the Bitcoin ranch, your Metaplanets, your MicroStrategies, these guys just go on and on and on and on. They just keep buying. Michael Saylor keeps telling you it's on sale. That means he knows where the buy orders are underneath the market. This is one of the benefits of being a large player, right? If you're a large player, you do business with somebody like a bank or a broker dealer. And then, you know, they know what you're doing. And then sometimes they turn around and, you know, give you the courtesy of letting you know what kind of flows they're seeing. So he knows where the buy orders are underneath the market. Just try and make sure you're not one of the buy orders selling to them. Good day from down under, Supermat from the UK. You stay off Facebook out there, sir. You stay on crypto. We're watching some of this like sensationalized news flow out of Europe. I think some of these things have been around for a while. They just all of a sudden showed up on Twitter with Elon pouring fuel on it. Let me tell you something. If any headline you read about Europe doesn't make a case for crypto, like the AIntivirus guys just came out with something where they're gonna create something that when you upload or download anything off the internet, it doesn't immediately leave a trail as to where you are and who you are. Hedge fund guy Just Dario retweeted it. These things are gonna matter. And privacy-related layer twos, right? I discussed one of them already. Like these things are going to matter. And again, it only takes one deal. Like I looked up Metal blockchain, touting itself as a layer 0. Maybe it's like, you know, trying to jump on that Polkadot bandwagon. I hadn't really heard of it. Blockchain for banking. This thing was, it's correcting, but it was vertical. It did like a 4X. Everyone's like, oh my God, the market is terrible. Yes, the crypto market is terrible, but there is a market of cryptos, meaning you can look at the market from the bottom up, start seeing what is outperforming. You know, you think Pyth is going to be the only data related cloud coin? No. Do you think Metal is going to be the only banking coin? No. Big Rich says, my name is Buck and I bought the dip. Big Rich, a card carrying one-man hedge fund inside my Patreon. God bless these guys, right? They know what they're doing and they share it with you, which is very nice, right? We have a nice community, and community is very important in crypto. Now, speaking of community, see, we have the, the executive branch's children doing token launches over the week. Token launches. So we have meme coins and we have token projects going public, kind of. Now, what do these guys know that you don't? Well, I guess the one thing that they know is they can unload on people if they want to, but it's interesting that they're doing it in the middle of a bear market or a down market or a correction or whatever. These guys also know how the sausage gets made. They know how much printing is going to have to be done. They know about the possibility of embarrassment if the tariffs are declared illegal. You have to ask yourself, if the tariffs are illegal, if you have social disorder, which I'm a little skeptical of in the UK. I mean, I know that they got major law enforcement problems over there. But it's their timing seems a little odd given what's going on in the Middle East. I'm just saying. But you got social disorder in England. You got headlines about French government debt. You have crackdowns on who can say what. Some guy told me this morning that because of tariffs, you can't get UPS or FedEx packages in France. Now, let me ask you something, people. If that's what's going on in the world, how can you not crypto? Now, again, I know there's people in far off lands. I get it. You want help? I'm here to help. If you tell me what you need on the stream in the comments, I'll try to get it for you. One guy was like, oh my God, please tell me what I need to do in AI and crypto mining, right? Or AI and blockchain. The best thing you can do in AI and blockchain, ironically, is Bitcoin. And if you can't get a hold of that, Solana is very cheap for people overseas to get a hold of. And Solana is the home of DPIN. And of course, I always say it, there's XRP, and my partner has a very common sense, kind of like sister cousin coin to XRP that she thinks is going to go up more. But, if everyone gets shaken out by eclipse season and everyone is like, well, everyone's taking profits, no one wants to market, blah, blah, blah. That's the one thing you can't do is fall for that. And you say, well, I'm never going to get bearish. The market's green today. I'm not going to be bearish. People, when the market is down and I have to sit here and look at it, I worry. I get bearish. So if I get bearish, I know you're getting bearish. Everyone gets bearish. Stan Druckenmiller, famous hedge fund guy, looks at the market, goes, every time I buy something and it goes down, I want to sell. I have to remind myself why I bought it to begin with. Now, side note, Bitcoin Cash is performing great today. I call it green Bitcoin, transactional Bitcoin from the heroic figure Roger Ver. A lot of times when Bitcoin Cash outperforms, the market does not do well. And that's exactly what's happening, right? Bitcoin Cash was up, Bitcoin Cash was up 6% overnight. The rest of the market turned around and just went down. Just went down. Now, on a dollar note, there are serious indications that, there could be some health issues with the president. Okay. And that could impact the dollar a lot. A lot. I'm guessing that if there was really a problem there, that you might have a very serious dollar problem. Because the vice president is just that. He's the vice president. The vice president used to be a guy who could step in. Not in a long time. Not in a long time. So whether you like him or whether you don't like him, let's hope that's not the case. Because when I looked at the kids launching WLFI in the middle of a down market, I'm like, why are we in a hurry? Okay, what's going on with the dollar matters. Right. And I'm seeing the dollar versus the yen making a big move today on the upside, right? Stronger dollar does not help crypto. Remember, it's not just eclipse season here. It's also eclipse season in legacy. So you can have some very emotional things going on. Now, one thing you won't be surprised to hear, you will be surprised you're hearing it now, is that, the supply increase in Ethereum is lower than the recent supply increase in Bitcoin. Ethereum is way more scarce than anyone led you to believe, which was funny because I seem to remember Ethereum cascading below 2,000 at some point earlier this year. Funny how that works, huh? Again, another lesson. A lot of lessons today, so don't go anywhere. A lot of lessons. The herd thinks, oh, Ethereum's going to zero. No. Ethereum was going to zero, and now it's at 4,000. A lot of people think that everything's going to go down in September. It may not. It may not. You may just have stunning volatility. You may have down 3%, back up 3%, back down. It's happening now. I would expect that to continue, frankly, indefinitely. And I don't know how big the swings can get. Now, there is good news if you look at some charts, right? You know, SUI on a daily chart feels very, very bottomish. Solana versus Ethereum. I mean, the next rally, I think Solana outperformance could be stunning. The same way ETH outperformance versus Bitcoin was stunning, right? And, you know, ETH, I believe, is coming into an area where, you know, ETH kind of holds its ground and sits there and, you know, sits on top of 4,000. I mean, there's two scenarios, I think, for ETH. One, everyone's waiting to buy the dip below 4,000, and that does not happen, leading to a chase later in the month. Or, you know, you do get the nasty wick at some point in the next 2 weeks. Now, I had a guy I worked with, and he used to say, make them sell it to you at a good price. Because it's very tempting to FOMO into this market. Like when you wake up and it's the day after Labor Day in the United States and summer's over and the white pants go in storage and everybody goes back to work, it's tempting to see the market go up and be like, okay, you know, summer illiquid BS is over. Let's go. All right. Well, we'll see how that works out. If it doesn't work out, you're going to have people get discouraged and sell. And you cannot get caught up in this kind of stuff and make the money that you're going to need to make in the fourth quarter. And if you don't know what to do, just feel free to ask. Charlie the Positive Cat from the AIntivirus universe is strongly encouraging you to hit the like button. Crypto Plumber is saying ban protocol. Dude, all this ETH DeFi, everyone's like, oh yeah, ETH DeFi. I never forgot about it. It's like a one-day trade. Like, what's the most popular haircut for teenage girls this week? Oh, that was ETH DeFi a week ago. Dude, 2 weeks ago. Get out of here. Ban protocol has like completely retraced and is on the verge of some kind of bottom. I think, right? And this could be true for all of ETH DeFi, all of the lending coins, of which there's like 4. I mean, it is not hard to find an RWA coin. Legacy is in and we're selling. All right. Now, Tim Rogers says if interest rates scream up soon, it will halt everything. This is a good time to discuss what can bring in volatility. People can get scared about inflation. I've seen this happening again, that there's going to be an inflation double bubble. I have a thought leader, a guy I read. He says because of AI and the build out that the economy is going to be able to run hot, but the labor market isn't what it was during the first inflation run, right? So you're not going to have that labor market pressure, I don't think. So everyone's like, well, interest rates are going to skyrocket. Okay, well, interest rates are going to skyrocket in France if the government falls, and I think that is the concern. The concern is, and this is, of course, beautiful for crypto, is that you have a problem with one sovereign that makes every other sovereign or every other investor look at every other sovereign and be like, oh no, man, wait a minute. I'm not doing this. I'm just seeing headlines now from the Eagle King, both Strategy, that's Michael Saylor, and Metaplanet buy more Bitcoin. You know what I'm saying? They know. All right. Okay. We are headed over to the YouTube member podcast. What is the YouTube member podcast? Well, it is where we go over altcoin picks, details on the eclipse strategy, things you know, things you don't know. That's from the analyst guy. That's me. And don't forget the best analyst in crypto, the Solana psychic. Eminem says, I'm weird. Yes, sir. I am extremely weird. I dropped the shaded glasses for one day and everyone thinks I'm weird. Okay. Somebody is like, rest in peace, the executive branch. Oh my goodness. What a wild thing that would be, right? To our friends in the UK, in France, use the antivirus eSIM card to be able to talk anonymously on a cell phone. If you want to say happy birthday to somebody on Facebook, do it carefully. And of course, do crypto, right? And if you're from a far off land and you want to know something, you need some help, well, I'd be happy to help you. If you have some money, join the premium group. If you have no money, comment down below and I will help you. We will see you tomorrow.